Hi there, welcome to Mrs B's Arts and Crafts. Today I'm going to tackle the issue of learning to tie your shoelaces. I know it can be really tricky, but practice makes perfect. Keep going, keep trying, resilience, perseverance, and you will get it. Okay, so I'm going to show you how you can make your own shoes to help you. So let's get on with it. Okay, the first thing you're going to need to do is print off the template that I found online, which is great, which is linked at the bottom of this video. Okay, and it basically gives you a left foot and a right foot that's already designed as a shoe. Okay, once you've printed that off, you can then decorate your shoe, cut it out, and then you're ready for the next bit. Okay, now I've decorated it with felt tips, but you can use whatever you want to decorate it. Obviously it's your shoes, so you decide. Once you have decorated the shoe, you can put it on a piece of cardboard and stick it on and then cut round it, because bearing in mind when you're tying your shoelaces you need to make sure that the holes have got a little bit of support, otherwise you're going to rip it. So if you leave it like this, it's not going to last you very long. So if you want to keep practicing and practicing and practicing, then you need a piece of card. Okay, if you want to not use card, another way of doing it is to laminate it. So if you've got access to a laminator, or mums and dads have got laminators, laminate this and then cut it out, and this helps it to last for a long time. So I'm going to cut this out. I've decorated my shoe ready, cut it out, then put it in the laminator. Now I need to cut it out again, so it does mean you have to cut out twice, but the plastic from the laminator sheet will help keep your shoes lasting a while. Now I've seen online on various websites you can get books with these on the front, and it shows you how to tie your shoelaces and gives you a way of practicing, but this is a bit of a cheaper way without having to buy the books, and I'm going to show you a neat trick of how to use your laces. Okay, so I've cut it out. Then you're going to need to punch the holes through so you can thread your lace in. Now these are the easiest things to do it with, which is a single hole punch. If you don't have a single hole punch, then you could do it just using a piece of blue tack underneath and get a grown-up to do it for you, because once you've laminated it, it does make it a bit harder. The same as if you put it onto cardboard, you've obviously got to go through two things to get the hole through. Okay, so once you have laminated it, you can then start to punch your holes for your laces. Now I don't have laces, so I've decided I'm going to use ribbon. I think you probably need to get it as close to a real lace as you can, but it's just the actual process you're learning. It doesn't have to be a shoelace. So I'm just going to squeeze this in because obviously it's a bit further away. That's better. If they're not perfect, don't worry, it's still the shoe that matters. I'm just showing you this way. Right, so I've gone through the laminator, so you can see that I've gone through the holes. Now this shoe is obviously how it would be if it was on your foot. I've got a piece of ribbon. I've gone for orange because it looks like the colours of my shoe. And I'm going to start by threading it from the back through to the front. You're not going to need all of this ribbon, but you can obviously cut it off when you're finished because you won't need the excess. Alright, so this is the top. Now what I would do is tie this one over like that. Okay, and then you can start threading your laces through. If you need help with this bit, obviously I'm sure a grown-up will help you. So you go through to one side and then it will straighten out through to the other side. You see? Okay, and then you'll have to come back up on the opposite side, ready to use again. Okay, now you're going to go through this one. In fact, actually, if I go back in this one, it should let you, because you need to come out. That's it. You want to be able to come out on, so I'll go over through this one again. So once you've laced it, okay, it'll stay laced, then come back up through these ones, because these are the bits that you're going to be tying with. Now what you could do, if you wanted to have them as real shoes on your foot, is you could use this bit of ribbon to tie around your foot so that it stays in place, and then you can get another piece of ribbon to thread through to use as your shoelace ties. Or if you wanted to, you could put a piece of paper underneath as a flap like so, and then just slip it on your foot. I think it's easier to learn on a flat surface, but it's totally up to you. Now, because you've laminated this, when you start tying your laces, it's going to keep doing this, moving about. So what I suggest is you get a piece of sellotape and you tape it to the table so that when you are doing all this, it doesn't move. Okay, now I haven't got tape, but I have got my glue, and because I'm not planning on using this, I can obviously stick it down to my surface and I can remove it again. So if I stick it to my mat, it will come off. There you go. So now you can see it's sticking nice, so I don't need to worry about it moving about. And that's one of the hardest things when you're learning something, is if it moves about too much, it gets a bit more frustrating. So I'm going to cut off some of the ribbon that I don't think I'm going to need. So if you think how long a shoelace usually is. Okay, now because when you're tying your shoelaces you get a bit confused with which bit's what, because your shoelaces are the same colour, you could always tie at the back two laces that are two different coloured pieces of ribbon. So when you're doing this, you know which one you're moving about. What I find an easier way of knowing what I'm doing is I use a felt tip pen, and I will do this one red, and you can see it goes through this ribbon, so it's quite handy. And I'm going to do the other side blue, I think. So we've got red and blue, or red and green now, because it's obviously changing colour with the ribbon, so that's fine. Okay, now what you're going to do is use the ribbon, but you can see now you've got two different coloured ends. Okay, so you shouldn't get confused with which bit's going where. All right, you could even do a strip down the centre of each ribbon if you wanted to make sure that you kept them as they are. These should stop running very soon. If they get on my fingers, I'm not bothered, I can just wash them off. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is cross them over like so. So the red one and the green one are now on opposite sides. Okay, then the red one I'm going to put underneath that one, and we're going to make it a tie like that. Okay, so then you've got still the pieces either side. Then this side, which has got the red on, I'm going to make into a little ear shape like a bunny. Keep hold of the ear and take this one, wrap it around above your finger, okay, and then pinch it with your other finger so it holds it in place. Let go, hold your ear with this one, and if you can see, I've got hold of the other one underneath, and I'm going to pull it through and tie it, and that is my shoelace. Okay, the other way you might want to do it is, again, start at the beginning, and like I say, you can practice as many times as you want with this. It's staying in place, it's perfect. Swap them over so you've got them on different sides. Put this one through that one again, so you can fold it like this. This time you can make two bunny ears, because there are two different ways of tying your shoelaces. Some people might even know more. And then you cross them over and put one of the bunny ears through the little hole underneath and pull it. So you've got two different ways there. And like I say, Just keep practicing and practicing and practicing till you get it. But it's always important to make sure that if you are using the shoelaces the same colour, or you're using a piece of ribbon the same colour, just make it different at one end of each one so you can see which one you're using. You can even write yourself a little set of instructions. So first of all, swap them over to opposite sides, and then follow your instructions down the paper until you've done your shoelaces. Have fun learning how to tie your shoelaces. I'd love to see videos of you doing it, if you actually make any with this. Send it to me, Mrs B's Arts and Crafts @gmail.com. Take care and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.